I don't think you should. So I would just solely shift all that responsibility to dad. If you have access to dad, then baby, get your daddy phone number. You call him. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. You call him and you let him know how you feel. Don't mask that. And if for some reason that man chooses not to, I wouldn't force it. Michael, most people talk shit about the Cowboys because they suck. They fucking suck today, man. You can't live in 1995. You can't do that shit.
All right, so Lance is talking about football right now, but I'm finally ready. Yay! So, talk about it Thursday. What's up, y'all? Cheers to Friday Eve. They can't see me. They can't see me. They don't know what's going on.
You wasn't ready.
There we go. Here we go. I can't really.
So let me slide this back. So we're gonna just do a quick camera adjustment.
Yeah, quick adjustment, right quick.
So that we can see.
I don't even know if that's a. Where's the tire? So yeah. Oh, look at us, all digital. Now we're probably gonna have to release them. And so, hey y'all, talk about it Thursdays.
Hey, I'm glad I don't wear glasses.
I know, right? Like this shit. Like y'all gonna see a whole bunch of leaning in because, like, so that you could try to get the whole thing. It's gonna be kind of weird, but. Talk about it Thursdays, the conversation. Welcome. All right, so I'm late. I know, I'm so late. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. That's what we're gonna do. I know you. Hey, Amanda, I have your question too tonight as well. So talk about it Thursdays. Look, we're gonna go ahead and jump into our either or segment. We're gonna give a second. Shakir says we need a videographer. Let's talk about it. Is
that you?
Yeah, I know, right? Is that you, Shakir? Are you guys going to? We do need a videographer. I agree. Like I'm literally needing some people to step up and say, hey, we see y'all. We like what y'all doing. We need help. But we're doing it right now. So look, hey, talk about it Thursdays. Thank you guys for watching. You guys know how we start this show off. We're gonna do our either or. Waiting for some people in the group to kind of log on. Looks like Lance in our page is kind of on and popping, but we're waiting for some people in our group to kind of show up. But while we do, the conversation is a closed group. Lance and I have a group where intellectuals come and we gather and we talk about various different topics, from politics to religion to relationships to emotions. And what we do is it's a safe place for everybody to share their perspective maturely. So we do not deal with the ratchet or the wretched. That's a Claire Huxtable term. The ratchet and the wretched. We honestly, seriously, guys, it's really just a place for everybody to come together. And if you're in a situation where you want to be enlightened by some things, or you're in a situation where you got questions and you want real answers, not no bullshit answers, but you want real answers to real questions, things that are really on your heart, things that you kind of sit in church and you hear, but you have questions about, and that you're not necessarily in a position to be able to ask, because you can't just be like, yo, Mr. Preacher Guy, I understand what you're saying, but this is how I'm feeling. Can you kind of help me? So it's therapeutic in a sense for everybody. The perceptions and the feedback that you get from people are mature. Anything that is not mature, anything that is not articulated well, will be removed. So we definitely make sure that we keep everything above board. Everybody's respectful. Keep an open mind. If you can't keep an open mind in this group, it is not the group for you. Because we're not about bashing anybody. We're definitely about coming together and make sure this thing happens, and it happens peacefully, and it happens in a good way. So let's get this thing started. You ready? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do our either or segment. All right, here we go. Now, the purpose of this live. Hey, somebody in the group, can you guys do me a favor? Ember or January, can you guys say hi? I just need to make sure that my comments are rolling in. So can somebody from the group say hi? I know my people are able to say hi to me, but I can't really see anybody's comments in the group. So somebody say hi to me, please.
Okay, so we got a hi here.
Oh, there we go. Hey, there we go. Hola, mami, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. I ask and answer questions. So thank you. What's up, Dash? Hey, Dash.
Damo.
All right, so here we go. Talk about it Thursday. Look, here's our either or segment. All right, our either or segment. This is where we ask you to pick either or from the list of things that we provide you. And this is going to, it's kind of like, what does this say about your personality or whatever, all right? So this either or segment, the topic of this is, what does your sleep position say about you? All right? What does your sleep position say about you? Here's what's going to go. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you 4 different ways that you can sleep. 4. All right. You have to pick one of the 4. You can't be like, I'm this and this. All right. It's either one. All right.
One or the other.
One or the other. All right. So here we go. Either or segment. What does your sleep position say about you? After I ask the question, I need for everybody to comment and let me know what their answer is. All right. After everybody, I try to give everybody about a minute or two to give me their feedback for their answers. Then what I'm going to do is tell you exactly what personality traits you display because of the way you sleep. And you can definitely figure out whether or not that's true for you or whether it's not. All right. So here we go. What does your sleep position say about you? What type of sleeper are you? Are you a fetal position sleeper? Are you a side sleeper? Are you a back sleeper? Or are you a stomach sleeper? All right. What position, when you fall asleep at night, what is your favorite position, or what is the position that you go to sleep with at night? Are you a fetal position? Are you a side sleeper? Are you a back sleeper? Or are you a stomach sleeper? All right. I need everybody commenting. Everybody commenting.
One word.
One word. One answer. What kind of sleeper are you? Fetal position, side sleeper, back sleeper, or stomach sleeper? All right, we got those answers coming in.
Why is nobody on my damn page answering, but they can talk about some damn Dallas Cowboys?
Whitney says he's a side sleeper. Melissa says she's a stomach sleeper. Bjorn says he's a side sleeper. Sherry is a side sleeper. Dash is a side sleeper. Brian is a side sleeper. Hey, all these side sleepers.
Okay, so I got one participant over there.
Oh, we had
okay.
Justin's a back sleeper.
Boom, Tasha.
Tasha's a stomach sleeper. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 30 more seconds. All right, everybody who's on. If you are on, then I definitely need to make sure that you guys are Ember. I can't with you right now, Ember. Okay. I need for you guys to make sure you answer. What kind of sleeper are you? Are you a fetal position, side sleeper, back sleeper, or stomach sleeper? I need you to put those put that answer in the live. Hey Anthony, what kind of sleeper are you? 20 more seconds, guys. Fetal position, side sleeper, back sleeper, or stomach sleeper?
It's all good, January. Appreciate it.
Michael says he is a back sleeper. Zoe says stomach. Sharice says side.
Lisa, look, boom. See, I got some participants over there.
You do. All right. 10 more seconds, everybody. All right. If you've answered and you don't have a drink in your hand, I encourage you to go get one, because we're going to be here for a good minute talking. And so I want everybody to be comfortable. You know, we talk and we sip. That's the whole point of this. Talk, sip.
Get drunk.
You know, make sure you watch your comments. But talk and sip. That's what we do. All right, here we go. All right, everybody gave answers. Lance, January said that she moved to the conversation page because that's where she belongs. Thank you, January. You're awesome. That's why you're first. That's why you're first, January. All right, here we go. Everybody who answered, here we go. All right, all my fetal positions, all my fetal position sleepers. All right, this is what it says about your personality. You give off a tough exterior, but you are sensitive in the inside. You're conscientious, said that word right, and ordered, but you're prone to worry and you're prone to overthinking. All right, so that's all my fetal position sleepers. My side sleepers, which I have a lot of, all right, here's what this says about your personality. Now, if you hear this, I want you to type agree or disagree, or I want you to type agree to some, or agree to, not agree to some. So here we go.
Told you about that already.
All right, so side sleepers, you are cynical, slow decision makers, but open-minded. You're chasing life and your dreams, and you're eager to take on the day. You are also extroverts and very easygoing. You're inflexible, rigid, stubborn, and you're bossy. All right? So if you agree with that, type agree. If I at least got 4 things right, then I need for you to type agree. All right? If you agree to some, just say agree to some. All right? My back sleepers, I have some people that say back. All right? Back sleepers. You're good listeners, you're introverts, you're quiet, you're reserved, and you have high expectations. All right, so that's all my back sleepers. All right, my stomach sleepers. You're sensitive extroverts who dislike criticism. You may feel like you lack control and you have anxiety. All right, so stomach sleepers again. You're sensitive extroverts who like criticism, and you may feel like you lack control or have anxiety at some times. All right, so that's what it says. Now,
which one?
I am a side sleeper. I'm a side sleeper.
I think that I am a fetal, so that's where you slip. Is that when you wait? Like you kind of ball up.
Yeah.
On that?
No, like
yeah, on the side.
Yeah, but you're in fetal position.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's me.
All right. So.
That's
you're gooey in the inside. That's what it means. Put on a tough exterior, but you're really sensitive in the inside.
Right.
All right.
What is Phipps' name here for? Is this my boy? Is that?
No, that's the okay. This is now these questions are actually generated from
What's up, BB?
From different psychologists who done different studies. And I got it off. I cannot quote it exactly right now.
One of the members.
But I I got it off the site. A bunch of psychologists did some sleep studies and noticed that these particular patterns and behavior were indicative to these particular sleepers. All right, so there we go. All right, so that was our first segment. All right, thank you guys for participating. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to get into some updates right quick. I have a new announcement for the group. Let me see if I could do this.
I'm going to read while you look.
Yeah, if you could, Lance, please.
So, first big announcement is that we have a new admin, Ember, and I don't know, correct my pronunciation, is it Gabriel?
Gabriel, yes, you're right. Gabriel.
Ember Gabriel.
Ember, I'm trying to add you, honey.
We're working on it. A little bit about Ember. She is a open-minded, free thinker. A lot of great ideas. If you came to the game night, the meeting of the minds last weekend, you had an opportunity to meet how awesome she is. Awesome energy. So we're adding her to the live right now. But she's awesome. So. Guys, just give her a shout. We're glad to have her.
Yeah, very glad to have her. She's definitely a free thinker. She has a lot of great ideas to bring, some fresh perspectives for the group. Hey, girl!
Hey!
How are you?
Boom! In there. There she is. Face with a name. Also, Nick.
Hold on one second. So, if y'all could, definitely take some time to give Ember a shout out, make her feel welcome. If you guys have any questions or anything, if you can't get to Lance and I, Ember is definitely going to be your the person to go to. So, Ember, would you like to say just a little something for the people? For the people.
I don't have much to say. other than like I'm just the third party of this family that we got going on.
We are a family.
Y'all stuck with me. So I guess the conversation stuck with me too. No, I had got invited into the conversation randomly. I didn't have no idea about it. I just logged into Facebook one day and you guys popped up like you've been added to the conversation. And so I originally was like about to like unsubscribe from it because I was like, oh, there's gonna be a whole bunch of drama in this group. I like to, converse with people, but Facebook, they get a lot of keyboard warriors. And I was like, I don't want to be any part, but I started scrolling through some of the conversations and they were really deep conversations and everyone was very like respectable and polite and they really showed a lot of different point of views. And then I was like, oh, okay. So for a week or so, I just watched. I didn't say nothing. I don't even think I liked anything. I just watched.
She was a
And
lurker.
then,
That means you're a lurker. Go ahead.
I was ghosting. Yeah, I was ghosting.
Stalker.
And then I finally decided to put a post, and then I saw all of the comments that people shared, and it was like really helpful. Hey guys, thank you. Is it Tamika? Thank you, Tamika. And yeah, so then after that, I talked to Elise just through one of the conversations I had posted, and then we exchanged numbers, and then we have a lot of things in common. And she's like my soul twin, as I call it. And then after that, then I helped her with the game night. So whoever came there, you guys had already met me. And then, yeah, then they approached me about it, and I'm really excited. So I'm not a babysitter.
Thank you, Ember. You guys make her feel welcome, please. And understand as this group gets bigger, we're definitely going to need some people on board to help us out. It's a village, and we're definitely going to need some people on board. So if you're a self-starter, if you're somebody that is definitely interested in, helping us out and helping us grow and helping us be what it needs to be, then definitely make sure that you let us know that you're interested. As the group gets bigger, we'll definitely put that out there or come to certain people. So everybody give Ember a big welcome in the conversation. Ember, we look forward for you doing great things in this group. All right, lady?
All right.
All right. All right, so she's going to stay on with us for a little bit longer. Is this freezing? This is kind of freezing really bad on my end. I can't really tell whether or not it is.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
All right. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so our next order of business next week, and we're going to keep this really short. Next week, next Thursday, our Talk About It Thursday will be at Liquid Lounge in Cornelius. So shout out to the awesome Paul Houston for organizing this and allowing us the opportunity to keep the conversation going throughout the city. We will be, the topic of discussion is going to be Talk About It Thursday, the Battle of the Sexes. Takeoff time will be around 7 p.m. We'll do a mixer. The conversation will start about 8, and then afterwards we'll finish the night out with some classic hip-hop vibes from their guest DJ. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing on next Thursday. So y'all come out and support us if you can, please.
Speaking of which, I briefly glazed over this earlier. All of you in the group, whatever you guys do, if you have access to different venues, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if you have a business, I'll be more than happy, as well as Elise, as well as Ember. We want to get that out there for you, and we want to work together and just kind of do our job to elevate. And if we can use this as a platform to help you guys out, and vice versa, we all want to work together and have this go as smoothly as possible. So, feel free to just tell us about your resources, and we'll do the same.
Yeah, so like Lance is saying, we're going to keep this a village. There are a couple events that we're going to have coming up very soon. Ultimately, I want this group to have a calendar to where something is going on. A couple events are going on every week. The things that we have coming up, the dates are to be determined. But we're going to have a vision board night. have a vision board night, and then we're going to have a Crowder's Mountain Soul Climb. We're going to have a wine and paint social. So those are at least about 3 things that we're definitely looking forward to. So I'm calling all of my life coaches or therapists or aerobics or yoga gym instructors, any artists that I have in the group. I need for you guys to speak up and let me know if you definitely are in a position to be able to help with these exercises. All right?
Are you talking about me? No. Said your hair slave.
Who said that? Thank you.
Talking about.
All right, so yeah, so look, guys, this is just.
I do have a suggestion too. I was wondering if enough people wanted to, if we could get a group together to go see Black Panther in February. If
yes.
What?
That's why you're here.
Man, listen. Anybody who knows me, I'm a big superhero geek. I'm about that.
Yeah, me too.
So for everybody who's on the other devices, the conversation is definitely going to try to get a group of people together to go watch the viewing of the Black Panther. All right. So let's see if we could sell out a freaking movie theater. Let's do that. Let's do that.
I know you can rent out certain rooms and stuff at certain theaters if you have enough people and you ask in advance enough. So
yeah, so let's do that. Let's sell a room out. Let's all go out, view the movie, and then maybe go grab something to eat afterwards and have a big ass conversation about it. So definitely, yeah, I look forward to that. That's a good idea, Ember.
Already paying dividends.
Already, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. So we'll definitely have an opportunity to do that. Look, if you guys are not in the group, for the ones that are going live I'm going live from my device and Lance is going live from him. If you're not in the group, please make sure you hashtag add me to the live, and we'll definitely make sure that we add you to the conversation. So yeah, we'll do that. The last thing that I'm going to say is we have a new posting alert. All right, so I'm really hoping that my people in the conversation really hear this, because it's really pertaining to you guys. So here's the posting alert. I appreciate everyone's feedback and participation in the group. And I want you all to keep those posts and comments coming. However, we are going to switch it up a little bit. And we're going to keep it in line with the reason for this group, which is to converse. So please make sure that before you post something in the group, you have to comment on the last person's post. All right, I'm gonna repeat that one more time. Before you actually make a post in the group, make sure you comment on the last person's post, because this will challenge everyone to get engaged, and it'll give you guys the opportunity to someone insight of your truth. So, this is a really tight community, so I really want to make sure that there isn't just a bunch of posts that people are being actually acknowledged, and that your perceptions are being shared. So please, before you post, make sure that you are posting, make sure you comment on the person's before, or the person that posted before you. Make sure you make a comment there before you actually post.
Also, I'll be doing a little bit of a cleanup, so to speak. And I want to just say that if you add someone, please make them aware. As you can see, I personally been added to groups and not even known. The shit's just been showing up on my feed, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I decided to hop in. Ember just mentioned the exact same experience where she was added to a group, and she didn't even know. So before you go on a binge where you're adding all these people, please make sure that you make them aware, because if they're not active, then we want to remove.
Right, definitely.
Well, I will remove. So I got you, Justin. I got you.
Yes. All right. So here we go. We're gonna hop into this conversation. I know y'all been itching all week to go ahead and hop in this. The beautiful Miss Ember is gonna stay with us through this first question. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing on and popping. First question of the night comes from Donnell Floyd. I need to get everybody's opinion from this. This is an inbox that was sent. All right. It says, listen closely because this is scenario. All right. And I want some feedback from everybody in regards to this. All right. This is from a female. Finances have been tight since my husband lost his job. He recently found a new job, but we have been playing catch up. He always goes all out for the kids and I during Christmas. This year, we just can't swing it. I told him not to worry about it. He recently came home with tons of gifts and said the bills were back on track. When I asked him where he got the money, he told me that he pawned the Rolex that I inherited from my grandfather. I am so hurt. I tried to get it back, but the shop had already sold it. I am so devastated and I want to leave my husband. I can't believe that he did this to me, and it was the only thing that I had of my grandfather's. All right? So, men, what was her husband thinking? All right, I want your perception from the men. What was her husband thinking? Ladies, this is what I want you to comment. What's your perception? Ladies, what would you do in this situation? She asked. She said she's so devastated that she wants to leave him. What would you do in this situation? So, Amber, I'm going to let you take the reins on this one first.
Well, I don't know if I would actually leave my marriage. I feel like maybe it was already rocky, and then this happened, and then that was like the final, straw with her. But we all know that when it comes to relationships and marriage, money is like and Facebook, unfortunately, are like the top two reasons why people are divorced or break up. And for him, I believe he should have asked her first. Like, it's one thing if you pawn something of your own possession, but then it's something else if you pawn someone else's possession. Right. And also, like, I know I've never had that whole bunch of money when I was growing up. I had been in a lot of retail customer service where you barely be making it, and I wasn't always able to afford to give my family Christmas gifts at the time. But what they would do, I would probably give like one, and then I would do like an IOU, and then I would have like a Christmas in January for them, because then I'll be able to save up more money at the time, because when it came to the holidays, I was always I get more money around the holidays, but because I had more hours, so I wasn't able to save up during the summertime and everything. So, but they also have to remember Christmas is not about gifts. Like, you can give what you can give. Like, you could cook for somebody. You could clean up their car, do a car wash or something like that. That they may need some assistance. You don't have to actually go buy like a PlayStation or an Xbox or something of that nature to have a fulfilled Christmas. I think people are so caught up in gifts and materialistic things that they miss the whole point of it. I consider Christmas to be like a Thanksgiving thing, just with snow. Like, just be thankful for what you have. Stop trying to buy stuff that you don't need for at the time. So I personally wouldn't leave him, but he would be in the doghouse for a long time, especially since she couldn't get her possession back. But I've never been married, so I mean, I really don't know.
Okay. And again, guys, while we're talking about these things, when we put these topics out, I need your feedback. So definitely from this particular situation, men, I need some feedback from you guys. Like, what do you feel like was the man's perception? What do you feel like he was thinking when he said this? Ladies, what would you do in this situation? I understand that it's messed up, but she's thinking about leaving her husband. She wants to leave because she's so angry and she's so upset. So what would you do? Ladies, what would you do in this situation? And gentlemen, what do you feel like from the male perspective that this guy was thinking?
So Justin says that trying to be a provider and showing that by any means he would make things shake for her and the little ones. he also was not thinking about how she'd be affected, that type of emotional decision. You pawned a gift that was given to her by a person just to get something for that person. Kind of ass backwards, but to the divorce over that seems kind of extreme. As stated before, there had to be some things leading to the decision. They cannot solely be the reason for the breaking point. So I agree with that. Oftentimes men are expected to be the provider, and it's literally by any means necessary. Now, I don't necessarily agree with him. He could have consulted her about it. I don't think the decision was solely his to make, especially with an object that was hers. We all handle sentimental value different. So, I walk around with a piece of jewelry from my grandfather to this day. But it doesn't change how I felt about my grandfather.
Right.
It's kind of like the love is here. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I lost the ring that I carry on my keys,
right,
I wouldn't necessarily feel my love for him or acknowledging who he was in my life isn't any different because of it. So I would say, not to get too far in the weeds on it, this would not be a reason for a divorce, in my opinion. A watch.
But what do you feel like the guy was thinking?
You said that was your thing, though. Like, this wasn't hers.
So what was he thinking?
Yeah, what was he thinking?
I need Christmas. I know people who go out and do things that they're not supposed to for Christmas. There are people who overextend themselves every single year for Christmas. And sometimes, for some people, that's the only year that they can see their kids light up. And I'm not going to get into how they raise or if the kids, are losing the objective of Christmas. But I have seen so many things that are not favorable for Christmas. So in his heart, he probably did what he thought was necessary. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but the shit had to get done one way or the other. Right. So maybe the risk was worth the reward for him.
So, ladies, what I want ladies to do right now, all my ladies, I want you to type on the screen, leave or stay. Which one are you doing? Are you leaving or you stay? So are you staying?
Pretty much
right now.
They gonna stay.
All my ladies, I want you to type leave or stay. All right. All of my fellas, right now, I want you to type whether or not this was done out of what love or ego.
Love because he wanted to get it done for his family, or ego because he didn't want to be embarrassed because he couldn't provide for his family. One or the other. Love or ego.
Look at all my pissed off women that's staying. Y'all mad as hell, right? Y'all staying and mad as hell right now. Ooh. Let me tell y'all how y'all sleeping on the couch for a long time right now. Y'all, but that guest room better be nice.
If they got a guest room, it's gonna be in the children's room.
Right. Ooh. You better hope you bought a rooms to go good couch or Ashley's Furniture great couch with all of that Rolex money, because you're gonna be parked for a while, my dude.
Well,
but Lance, you talk about like your great, like if you had like a grandfather gift or something. But see, keyword, you said yours. You didn't say your partner's grandfather's. That's the difference between losing something of your own and then losing somebody else's possession.
So if my wife took the ring off of my keys and pawned it, I can't speak to how many levels I would be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely.
But I'm still not going to say that it would never register to me that this is a divorceable offense.
Right.
I don't necessarily know how I would fill the void. I don't even know if it'd be necessary. I mean, is it really necessary? I'm never going to forget who the man is. I'll never forget what he's done for me. So I'm not really sure if it's material. And I think that, from someone who's lost so many things, I've kind of learned that, fuck it, man. I mean, if it's not that serious. It really isn't to me.
You don't have an attachment to it. Certain people have attachments to certain things. I remember when I used to work for Sprint, and we had to like change out the phones like when someone activate their new phone, and we will have to tell them that their voicemail won't be may not transfer over. And this one time someone did not tell this woman that the voicemail wouldn't get transferred over, and it was like the last voicemail of her husband that passed that was on it, and it got deleted. And so, of course, she was furious because that was something she had kept for so many years. But to her, she's attached to it. But to you, it may be like, oh, it's just a voicemail.
Right, and I can't, everybody handles their sentimental values differently.
Yeah.
I'm just saying through my personal life experiences, I've come to the point where, I've learned to not go off the deep end on it. Now, honestly, I feel like I'd probably react different to the voicemail than I would losing the ring that I carry. But in theory, the ring, my personal sentimental value to my object, I'll get over. But a voicemail, I mean, that's different. I can't.
Right.
Everybody feels different about it.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next question. Ember, thank you, your beautifulness, for joining us. I'll be looking forward to your feedback and your input throughout the rest of the conversation. So, thank you, my dear.
Yeah, don't ignore me.
Bye, girl.
Bye.
You can read this. You can read this.
You can read it.
So,
next question. Here we go. What you got, Lynn?
Next question.
Make sure you guys have your drinks. Cheers to Friday Eve. All right.
Friday Eve.
We sipping. We talking. What's up, Lance?
This comes from James Slim Smith, one of our guys in the group. This question is it true that people crave likes more than actual love or connection? Has the immediacy of social media response promoted the love of self to the point that true sustained love from one another isn't enough anymore? Marie, read that. Is it true that people crave likes more than actual love or connection? Has the immediacy of social media response promoted to the love of self to a point that true sustained love from one another isn't enough anymore? These are for the people that chase the likes.
Yeah, these are for the likes chasers. Hey, these are one who do it for the Divine when it was out.
How about for the gram?
Do it for the gram. I ain't gonna do it. Do it for the gram. I ain't gonna do it.
Has this replaced love?
Yeah, has it replaced love? So look, I'm gonna give my response. All right. Now this is actually
That's a great question.
Look, James. Kudos. Like,
that's what we talk about.
This is what this group is for.
Gosh.
All right. It is for the expansion of knowledge, and it's for the expansion of the mind for you to be able to see exactly what is going on in the world right now. Okay. It challenges you.
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that.
Exactly. You're gonna talk about it here. All right. So. Here's Elise's response, all right? And here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to make sure that you are commenting, and I want you guys to make sure that you are definitely tuning into it. So Ember says she missed it. Is it true that people crave likes more than actual love or connection? Has immediacy of social media response promoted the love of self to a point that true sustained love from one another isn't enough anymore? All right. So here's Elise's response. All right. And I want you guys to make sure that you are commenting as well. Comment how you feel about this. What is your perception on the internet likes as it relates to love, self-love? Are we missing that connection? So, in my opinion,
got a lot of them.
Does likes replace, or is it true that people crave likes more than actual love? No. I don't feel like that's true. And I'm going to explain to you guys why. I feel like that people equate likes to actual love and connection. So in their world, in the sense, in their truth, they actually do connect likes to actual love. Society has decided to alter its meaning and interpretation of love and connectivity. So since the creation and the rise of the internet, the world has definitely been able to experience different ways of connecting. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it's definitely truly another world. So as far as beliefs is concerned, I practice this Romans 12:2, scripturally speaking, biblically speaking, I should say. It says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and what is acceptable and what is the perfect will of God." So for me personally, I don't really blame people for thinking that your likes equate to love, because that's what you have chosen to accept as your truth. Now, the internet world and what society pours into people's heads through it, some people actually accept it as their truth. They believe in this stuff. Like, they really believe in it. And when you have a strong belief in something, you can almost put it, and a lot of times people do without even consciously understanding, they actually put it as their God. Like, yeah, and I really want you to understand this. If you believe that the first thing that you do in the morning, or if you really feel like, you know what I'm saying, like when you post and you get all these validities, that they're actually doing something for you, or they're fulfilling you in some type of some type of sense, then that's the system, or that's the internet world, or that's society's way of pouring into your head their truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not being your own filter. So in a sense, it can become some people's God. But true sustained love from one another is still there, but it's definitely all up for interpretation in this new age, and it's up for the interpretation of one's truth. I know personally that I can only give love in the way that I know it to be, based off of my truth. All right, so based off of my truth. Now, to someone, I have to give that love based to someone that believes the same. Hence the term, I know everybody have probably heard this term, equally yoked. So I say this to say, if you and your partner have the same mindset when it comes to social media, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel like your like equals attention and their like equals attention, then there won't be any friction in that relationship. If you believe the same morals and values and whatever it is about social media as they do, you won't have any friction at all. But if you have one person who doesn't believe the same values, or doesn't place the same type of feelings into social media as you do, you'll always end up doing this. You always end up doing this, because to me, it's technically you're unequally yoked. So whatever your truth is, whatever your truth in love is, you have to make sure that you can't judge people for what they don't know, or what they choose to decide to accept as their truth or their belief. But what you do have to do is, if you're going to be in a situation where you're going to rock with some people, make sure you rock with people that's equally yoked, that believe in the same things that you do, that rock the same ways that you do, so that you won't experience that huge friction or that separation in regards to your truth. That's just my opinion.
So I'm gonna just kind of break it up a little bit for me, and it's kind of actually segues just a little bit into what our next topic was, which is people being content with being single. Now, there's no doubt that people crave likes. People like to be praised. People like attention. I think that in a time where we are finding true love is harder to find, this is an easy way to feel feel fulfilled, or feel validated, or feel whole. It's a band-aid, so to speak. So although I do believe that love is certainly still there, I think that for us who don't understand or are not comfortable in our own skin, that we may venture out to places like social media and say, you know what, look at me, world, love me, world, because I don't have that person that gives me that love on on a much more intimate level. So, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Here's what Richard made a very good point. Richard says, I think people accept likes in the absence of love.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It's kind of like we're just filling the void with likes. So yeah, I agree totally.
Dame Dash says he doesn't give a damn about likes. Likes and love do not relate in his book. And that's Dame's truth. I agree, Dame. Let's see. Tamika says, I think for some, definitely agree with Richard on this one. So January says, good question. I don't think so, but I do believe people have become clouded on their judgment of what love truly is. And I definitely do agree with you on that one. Denisha says, I think it depends on the person and how they feel about their life. If you crave and are addicted to social media, then yes, it'd make your day to get a plethora of likes. If you are content, let me get this right.
If you're content with
you and you're comfortable in the skin that you're in, then you can care less whether people like your post or not.
Hit Justin's. I can't.
What does Justin say? Justin says, I wouldn't say that true sustained love isn't enough, but they really do compare and contrast. The attention received online to how much their significant other shows, then especially on that day. Sorry, Justin, I'm trying to read all of it. I'm not.
Where do you stop at?
That day.
On that day, it is a low key applies to oranges because it depends on at this point of their life what they are truly yearning for and the level of maturity. Attention and thirst will always be there, but those likes are mostly infatuations from individuals, whereas that you need or want from that one individual should not be compared to that. Those likes you get you $0 at the end of the day, and those people giving those likes aren't there for you through the struggle. But that person that truly loves will be there through thick and thin. Not saying no recognition from your loved one is acceptable, but a comparison between them and social media will not breed a successful relationship.
So
appreciate that, Justin.
Yeah,
wow,
you did test Lance's vision because he strained his eyes for you on that one, Justin. He seriously did. So definitely a great point. I think what I want for Elise's perception, what I want to challenge everybody on is the fact that we all live different truths. We do. We all believe in various different things. Some of us are so in tune to who we are as people, that we have not allowed the world to tell us who we are. We have not allowed the world to dictate what it is, especially, we've unplugged in a sense. But there's some people that allow the world to definitely dictate what their truth is. So in a lot of situations, you got to realize when you log in on Facebook, it used to be that you could only like a post, right? But now your likes are not just likes anymore. You can like a post, you can heart a post, you can wow a post, you can angry face a post. So what that's doing is it's a mind thing. It's actually allowing you to associate a like with an emotion. And so when you associate a like with an emotion, you start to train yourself and you start to train your mind. And for those people who are not so strong to unplug themselves and to understand that this is just something that, is designed for this particular application, you got some people who actually equate that emotion to their true self. And when they relate it or equate it to their true self, it becomes it becomes their identity, and they start to identify with that thing. And you can't necessarily be upset with them. This is the point, honestly, for this group, because it allows and exposes certain things. You're able to realize now that when you hit that like button, to some people it's not just a like. To some people, when you hit the heart button, society has put, when you see a heart, what does society say a heart means? It means love.
You love it.
Right, you love it. When you look on Valentine's Day, they have hearts everywhere. Hearts equates to love. You know, you got some people who take those symbols are not just symbols. Words are not just words. So we're actually gonna have to start to understand that the subliminal things that society is putting out to feel some people are actually taking that a hold to their truth. And I'm not gonna get too deep in it because I can be a whale, so I'm gonna stop. But definitely understand that there's certain things that this world puts out for you to actually get in your spirit, and you have to make sure that you renew your mind every day to understand that this shit is just a game. This shit is just something that they're actually trying to, pour into you to sway you from being the person who you truly are and from what you truly believe. So that's just my 2 cents. Guess we'll move to the next question on that. All right, so where we going? We
got Lysandra Oates, who's a very active member on one.
Yes, Lysandra! Big ups to you, boo.
I didn't pull the numbers, but I'd imagine she's probably one of the more active people. And she just got in, like literally just got in. Are single men and women truly happy being single or just learning to be content? You been go on this or you want to start?
Nah, you go ahead. I just ran it, so you're good.
Yeah. I think that you should be happy being single. And to me, they walk hand in hand. I think that if you're content, then you understand what you're looking for. And that helps you do a better job, and I use the term all the time, pre-screen what you're looking for. I don't identify consent as just being spinning your wheels. Consent is patience. Content is knowing what you're looking for and being patient until you find it, knowing what you will accept and what you won't accept. And in the meanwhile, there's nothing wrong with being truly happy about that. And you should find peace in that. And so that's where I am on that. And I see that my girl Elise has...
I do, but I'm not even going to read mine because I want to hear everybody else's. So, guys, I need your feedback on here because I want to read some stuff. I really want to know. There are a lot of single people in this group.
You see what Amber said?
Yeah, there's a lot of single people in this group. So, for all my single people, are single men and women truly happy being single or just learning to be content? Type those feedbacks. We definitely are looking forward to reading this particular question or this particular your perception from this particular question. So let me know, are single men and women truly happy being single or just learning to be content? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts while everybody is typing? To me, at some point, I guess I'll go ahead and say something. Since I'm waiting on everybody to say something, everybody's fingers must be going like 100 miles an hour right now. Yes, thank you, Whitney. Thank you, January. Okay, Whitney says, speaking for myself, I am happy. Yes, I am happy. And I am happy that am I happy that I'm single? No. January says, I was content when I first became single. Once I became truly comfortable in my own skin and understood my worth and what I truly wanted, I am happy now and in a good place. Let me read more. I enjoy being single and patiently waiting on the right man in relationship. Awesome. Ember says, is an either or can I say both? Ember, you can say whatever you want to, honey. This is your perception because honestly, because we're soul twins, like you swear we are, my answer was that at some point single people are both happy and content with being single. But let me hear your 2 cents on it, sweetie. Dame Dash says depends on the stage in singlehood.
Now we have to go back on Dame's because a couple weeks ago Dame explained, I guess, that there was you're not. So the question was, are you single till you're married? And Dame had an interesting point of view as it relates to that. So you'd have to. Oh, there he is. He's expanding on it right now a little bit. And he said, if you're not happy by yourself, then you won't find it in a relationship.
That's great. Somebody posted something. I think Dash. I don't know if Dash posted it or not, but somebody posted in the group. The Real was on the show, The Real.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a gentleman that was on The Real, and the question was, "Why are you single?" And I'm pretty sure a lot of single people get that. Why are you single? Why are you single?
Yeah. He had an interesting.
Yeah, he did have a very interesting view, and it was very respectful. And he says one of the things that stuck out to me the best. It says he's single because he's whole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, being single is about being whole. Being single is about finding you. Being single is about understanding who you are, what you want, and not getting into a relationship or not getting bogged down by people just by happenstance or just to feel a need because you're not all the way whole yourself.
Right.
Because when you are whole, when you come into a relationship, you're two wholes coming together to make one thing. All right. So, I mean, that was a very, very good point. So for me, yeah, I feel like you're definitely at some stage, like Dame was saying. At some point, single people are both. You're happy and you're content with being single, but there are phases and levels to it. So depending on what level you are in being single, depending on where you are in regards to finding your worth, depending on where you are in regards to, you know, your soul searching, because you got, in being single, you got some growing up to do, and you got some growing pains to go through for yourself.
Do you think that, and this, I love how all this kind of ties in together, whether it be from week to week or question to question. So do you think that those people who are not whole, do you think that they are, do they then search for likes or that completeness via social media?
No, I don't think that they, you know what, at some point, they may. It's a different thing. Like, it depends on what type of person that you're trying to be or trying to become in your being single. If you're trying to become a person that is trying to heal from some things, then no matter how many likes that you get, you'll still have that wound. You'll still have that affliction. So in my opinion, it just depends on, you know, where you are. There's a whole community of single people who are still healing. And in that community of people that are still healing, what happens is they flock to one another. Oh, you hurt? I'm hurt. Shit, we can rock this out for a little while, then. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no ties, no commitments, no nothing. Like, I'm doing me, you doing you. I'm hurt, you hurt. But at the same time, you recognize where you are. Dame says people who are not whole tend to search for that part that's missing. And I agree, but you know what, Dash? I also agree that people search for that part that's missing. There's different avenues that you can search for that part that's missing. You can search for that part that's missing in and of yourself, or you can search for that part that's missing in different outlets and doing different things. And those different outlets can either be positive for yourself, or it could be, you know, a negative thing that you end up getting into, or a negative thing that you end up drawn to.
Chris put it together here. Oh, I'm sorry, not Chris. Chip. I'm sorry.
Chip. What does Chip say? Because I'm not. I can't.
Here's the problem with social media. Most of us use it as a replacement for the things that are missing. In order to love anything, you have to know first what love is, and actually love yourself. Be comfortable in your own skin first. There's nothing wrong with you liking any post. I find that people think that just because a person likes a post, they're flirting or having a desire for the image that they like or love, or wow. Once I thought that it was okay with being single, I once thought I was okay with being single until I found that one I wouldn't ever consider being without or jeopardizing that for anything or anyone. Words I live by is never settle for less than what I'm worth. But don't think too highly of yourself that you miss what's real in front of your face.
True.
Hurt people hurt people.
They do, which leads into the next question, which I'm going to go into in a second after I read Tamika's comment. Tamika says, this is a good question. I think contentment comes with maturity. Self-love, knowing who you are as a person, fully understand what makes you happy inside. Oftentimes we believe we would be happy. Let me see more. Oftentimes we would believe we would be happy if we just had a mate and run him or her off because we aren't happy with ourselves. Then bashing them because we are jacked up. When I learned to truly love me and realize who I was, I truly began to be happy in my singleness. Agreed. Now the downside of my contentment was that I had become too content with being single.
Okay.
All right. And that also, you guys, like, if you are not in the group, again, I want you guys to put hashtag add me, because this is definitely something that was talked about in the group, something that was said in the group. One of the questions was single people are sometimes the hardest to love because you have to do extraordinary things to win them over. And that definitely can be the truth, because once you become once you're in a situation where you're doing things from yourself, you're self-sufficient, you're independent, you sustain your own, you're happy with who you are, somebody has to bring some extraordinary, shit on into the mix for you to say, you know what, I can do this with you. So I definitely agree that, which then brings it to our next question. All right, everybody ready for the next question? The next question is, why do people, all right, here we go. Next question. Why do people walk past Clark Kent looking for Superman? Yeah, say it again, Lex.
That was from Anthony Blathers.
Yes, Anthony Blathers or Blathers. Blathers. I'm going to go with Blathers. He says, why do women walk past Clark Kent, or why do people walk past Clark Kent looking for Superman? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. All right. So look, my take on that is, because Superman is advertised in the media. All right. Superman is advertised in the media. Clark Kent is what your mom or what experiences teaches you to look for, because she or it knows what a real Superman looks like.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. I think that the whole perception of what Superman is fucked up.
That's what January said. January says, wow, I think because Clark Kent is not the Superman package.
So some people think Superman is this guy who looks like fucking Jason Momoa or fucking some goddess-looking man. And I think that, and that's not to say that those people aren't good people, but to me, it's just like who you consider a superstar. Is a superstar an NFL player, or is a superstar a person who drags a baby out of a burning building? Who's a superhero? And I think that our perception is just all fucked up. And I think that because...
But why is it fucked up? Who gave us that perception? I mean, because the thing is, like, you got to realize, like, in the actual movie, Superman was only Superman because of what the media showed him to be.
Well, because, oh wait, I love this. Is this Jeru the Damager?
Yeah. Oh, I'm good. What? I'm good with my hip hop shit. Don't get it twisted. I got you.
Let me just hear a little bit. Bang, bang. Oh my gosh. My infinite potential. Freestyle flow. Like Fidel Castro. So, I'm sorry, this is random. I know. But you know what? That's what makes it good. I love this shit. It takes me back to like a whole different place. So I love this. I'm sorry, I forgot the question.
Superman, Clark Kent.
Right, no, but you were saying something. Oh, who makes it? Like who was it? Was that who it was? Like who decided to elevate these people?
Yeah.
No. You were saying Superman was Superman because
of what the media presented Superman to be. If the media never showed Superman saving a shitload of people, nobody would ever equate Superman to being this awesome. They told the story. They told you who Superman was.
So I think that has a lot to do with it. So Superman, again, whether it was drawn up or put on a projector. Yeah, you need to fix that right there. I still think that even though we, as conscious people, we can say, look, Superman, we don't walk past Superman every day. Superman is Superman because he does extraordinary things.
Right.
But we don't appreciate extraordinary things that normal people do. Like I said, the example I used, pulling a police officer.
Right.
They go out every fucking day and put their life on the line. That's extraordinary because you know what? I don't do it. And I don't know many people that do. And so it's cool, you know, Superman, and you ask some of these writers and they'll tell you like, hey, you know, this is supposed to be like a hyperbole of what real superheroes are, which is the guys, like I said, who save lives, donate kidneys,
but see,
raise
okay,
kids.
so here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. This is why I'm kind of perplexed when it comes to this question. It says, here's the thing: Superman and Clark Kent is the same person. All right, so the dude is who he is.
We're visual people. Superman in the tight suit looks a lot better than the damn trench coat.
And I'm gonna go to my girl Denisha. Denisha says, it goes back to thinking because it looks good, it is good.
We're visual people.
He may not be the best looking guy in the room, referring to Clark, but if he treats you like a queen and is your equal in every sense of the word, then he is your equal, then he is your Superman. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let go and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human. Okay, I just had to. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I was just feeling rude to damage you.
Okay.
All right.
So all right, let me make sure everybody don't judge a book by its cover. That's what Simi says. Don't judge a book by. You know what? It's not too much wine. I just thought of that song. Like, look, I am music. Music is like through my freaking veins, y'all. So as soon as I heard this or saw this question, that's exactly what I thought of. All right. The double life. Cherie says it's a double life. Either way, both of them have a double life. Let's see. What was everybody said? James says Superman and Clark Kent are one and the same, though. Remember, it's just Clark Kent choosing to use his superpowers in a public setting. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he's the same person. So it's like you walk past Clark Kent all the time because you are looking for what the media has poured into. You're looking for 5. You're looking for 6'2".
Is this really media, or is this just really just us as visual people?
No, because, hell, you can't go.
The media didn't tell you that you like. The
You're
media
not
didn't
about to tell
like
me,
6'2".
but you ain't about to tell me that Clark Kent look good to me in a suit.
But you can't say that the media told you what's attractive to you.
No, but the media told me what to recognize. The media told me that this particular person, this particular guy, this particular thing is what it is. Like, this is Superman. This is the person who saves the world. They tell you who Superman is.
But the reason that people walk by Clark Kent is because he looks like Clark Kent as opposed to looking like Superman. So it's not the media that says, oh, well, look for 6'2", 3% body fat. That's not the media saying that. That's us as visual people saying that looks good to me. Or I guess to women.
I agree. All right, we're gonna move on to the next one because we is rolling tonight.
Oh, I like this one.
All right, I'm gonna let you handle that. Amanda, I hope you are still on tonight because we're coming to your question, boo.
Chris, grown folk Presley. In a relationship, is it disrespectful to let yourself go as far as your health and physical appearance, or not put forth the effort to maintain your health and appearance? Man.
Read it one more time, Lance.
In a relationship, is it disrespectful to let yourself go as it relates to your health and your physical appearance or not put forth the effort to maintain your health and appearance. I'll tell you, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I'm not going to ever say that I agree with cheating, because I don't. But if there was ever a viable reason to cheat, this is it right here.
Man, shut the fuck up on that. That is never a viable fucking reason to cheat.
What? Did you just hear what I said the first time? Where's your listening ears?
No, but you said if there was.
If there was.
Then this is
If there was.
Never.
So, if I met you, you're a size 2, okay?
Then leave her ass.
Wait, hold on. You're size 2. We have some kids.
Yeah, you put some babies in there. Uh-huh.
We have some children. And maybe we'll just say that the weight balloons a little bit.
What's a little bit? What's your tolerance?
Well, we're not going to speak to my personal tolerance, because weight on a woman just looks different from person to person. However, if you go from a 2, let's just say 10, that's 12. That's 10 sizes, okay? You know what? I'm gonna flip around the other way. I'd rather do it the other way. So if you met me and I was 150 pounds, all right, and you're a size 2, you're a health conscientious person, it matters to you, and before you know it, I'm hovering at 300 pounds, okay? Now, you married me at 150. Now, I understand that true love is unconditional, but that does not make it okay for me to sit my ass down. Hey, babe, where you going? To the gym? All right, I'm cool. I'm just going to sit here and eat some fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fucking food.
Yeah.
I feel like it is my responsibility to at least, and in the message, this is very worded very well, put forth the effort necessary to maintain something to resemble what I was when you met me. Now, if it's caused by sickness, then that's a different circumstance. But if there ain't nothing fucking wrong with me, then I need to get my ass up and train just like you do. Because you know what? As people, we don't put enough emphasis on how someone looks.
I agree.
Just because we married, they don't give you a free pass and just let it all go.
Yeah, Whitney says if y'all are on one accord, you have to hold each other accountable to stay in shape.
Wait, what an Ember.
Ember said when Lance drinks, his favorite word is fuck. I realized it. Whitney G, I definitely agree with that. Look, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I've been married guys before and I've been divorced. But it was a discussion before I got into my marriage. Like, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens is, in my family, I love my people to death. They are freaking awesome. But after a few kids, you know, we go from being, you know, thick madams, you know, to some, you know, some brontosauruses and some tyrannosaurus rexes. Like, we get stout. We still thick. We still hold our arms.
You went from a raptor to a tyrannosaurus rex.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We got super thick on them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, I know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know me. Like, I hold my own self personal and accountable for my weight, my health. I take that serious. And you have to, you know, you have to get with the person who understands that, you know what? Like, regardless of what I have going on in my life, like, I need to take my personal health serious for me. Because when you get with somebody, it's not their responsibility to make sure that you're the person to make sure that they're healthy. It's not their responsibility. Like, if health is something that's very important to you, because it's a situation where when you go into it, look, when you go into a relationship and y'all go out to eat, and when y'all going out to eat, or you notice like certain behaviors, you notice that he eating hog maws, ribs, chicken wings, high cholesterol shit.
What's a hog maw?
It's a pig feet. You notice that this dude is eating all of this stuff, but he not working out. He not making an attempt to go to he never goes to the doctor. Not one time in the course of y'all, dating and being with one another, did he ever say, you know what, babe, I gotta go to the doctor and get my blood pressure checked. You know what, babe, I gotta go to the doctor and get my prostate checked. Like, if you don't notice those things, then you have to realize then and there that he does not put his health as a priority.
Thank you, Miss Harrison.
What does Miss Harrison say?
She was giving me clarity on what
hog maw goes in collard greens. Yes, honey. That gives the collard greens flavor.
I don't eat collard greens.
But I'm just saying,
right, okay.
there's different situations. So when you're with somebody and you understand, oh my God, like where he is right now looks perfect. Great. But there's certain times in relationships where you have to look futuristically with somebody. And you have to pay attention to their patterns.
If you're content and you're patient, then you help to see those things.
What do you mean you help to see those things?
So if you're not rushing and you're happy with yourself and you're content, then you can sit down and say, well, you know what? I think that it's important in my pre-screen that I meet someone that understands that
fitness is important or health is important.
Right, down the line.
Exactly. But if you're in those situations where you're not paying attention to that thing, because honestly, guys, I have been in a situation where I have been with someone and they allow their health to go, and they was expecting me to take care of them. And here I am, a young woman in her early 20s, now having to take care of somebody who unfortunately was diagnosed with, a disease, and they were not doing anything on their end to make the situation better, but was relying on me to make sure that I made it better for them. I can't do that. I can't live my best possible life. Even though you may be diagnosed with something on a sickness, there is still a responsibility that you have in your life to make sure you take care of you in order to help you maintain through that sickness.
So do you consider it disrespectful?
Yeah. Per the question, I definitely consider it disrespectful.
That's one of the few things that I think that we uniform, like we agree with across the board.
We agree with it? Oh my God. High five, Lance.
Yeah, I think that's very rare.
Yes. Okay. Tamika says, I told my boo, get it in order. Get it in order. Cause I ain't going to be the only one looking good, feeling good and healthy, and want to be on the beach in a two-piece, and my man next to me looking just as good. Yes, we got to do this. I don't understand. Yes, honey. Barbie, Ken. All right. This is how it works. Barbie, Ken. All right. Now, your Barbie can be plus size.
They actually made a plus size Barbie.
Your Barbie can be plus size. Your Barbie don't gotta have a 4-pack or a 6-pack.
People were enraged by it, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? Your Barbie can put on a one-piece and be banging. All right, but she need to make sure she ain't got high cholesterol, and he needs to make sure he ain't got high cholesterol. You know what I'm saying? Or diabetes, or at risk of a stroke or heart attack, just because he just simply can't or won't.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing. It's one thing if circumstances present themselves, which I totally understand. But again, if I'm sitting down playing Xbox, which everybody knows I fucking do personally, and my girl walking out the door, and I'm like, she's like, well, hey, you want to go on a walk? No, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then the next day comes, and my waist size, I done went from a 32 to 36 to a 40. Like, come on. Ain't nothing wrong with me other than my desire to get my ass up off that couch and put that damn controller down.
Yeah, and look, and guys, I'm not saying that it's not an accountability thing. It definitely is an accountability thing. Pay attention to your partner. When your partner comes into the house and on a whim, just out of the ordinary, out of the blue, be like, babe, you want to go with me to the gym today? Sign, okay? It's a sign. You know what, babe, it's been 3 months, and babe never invited me to the gym, but it's, all of a sudden now I'm getting these invitations to the gym, without sitting here telling me that he feels some type of way about the fact that I done gained some weight. He's trying to help me. You shouldn't get offended. You shouldn't get in a position to where you're like, you know what? Like, I feel some type. You shouldn't get in your feelings, because he's holding you accountable, because he wants you around. I feel like my man or my partner is going to hold me accountable, not just because it's the right thing to do, but because he wants me around for as long as he can have me, and I want to be around for as long as I can. So if I can do the necessary things to make sure that that I'm doing my best to do so, then why not?
Question: how would you address telling your partner about that? It's very simple. Babe, you're getting a little heavy, and we need to fix it before it gets out of control. That's it.
You get too heavy for me. Dream Girls, look it up.
That's it. No, it's just simple. I mean, because if you have to be comfortable in your relationship, you have to be comfortable enough in your relationship where you can be able to say, "Hey, your weight is getting out of control. Let's catch it before it becomes a problem."
Yeah.
And this is very prevalent, especially in African Americans. And now we have access to so many things that can combat, high blood pressure or high cholesterol. And I understand that, like, eating healthy, because people say, obviously you can go work out, but the first change.
Yes. You know what? Yeah, exactly. Tamika says, you know what I'm saying? I told my boo he's gaining weight, lay off the sweet tea. Now here's exactly how it happens.
That's a lot.
But here's exactly how it happens. You at a restaurant, y'all order. You order a salad. She orders a full rack of ribs with mashed potatoes and 2 sides, and y'all already got free bread.
And a bitch.
And a what?
And a bitch.
So, if you look at her while she ordering and be like, you know what, babe? I think you should get a salad. You know what I'm saying? I think you should get a salad because it's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever the situation may be, it's time for us to be able to recognize when our partner says certain things out of the blue, is to address certain issues that they may have, you know what I'm saying, or to hold us accountable for certain things. So don't take personal offense to it. You have to, it's a self-check. It's not a thing about controlling, Ember. It's a self-check, because at the end of the day, you already know you done gained 20 pounds. You know it. You know you done gained 20 pounds. So if your dude suggests, you know what, baby, just get a salad with me tonight, that means you should hold your own self accountable and be like, you know what, babe, you right. I don't need this full rack of ribs. And
right, and then just turn around and go lay down.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you're not even burning it off. And so,
you know what, babe? I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand. Like, you just trying to push me to be the best version of me that I can. And instead of me being on some malicious, defensive attitudes, on some, you know what? Like, you ain't gonna tell me what I'm gonna eat because you trying to control me. It ain't about that, boo. Your man trying to control your weight so that he can stay with you and love you. That's what he trying to do. He just want to love you.
Right. And then get mad because I get 100 likes and your ass get 4. So we on the same.
So now we back to the likes.
We on the same damn beach. Shit now. Tighten it up.
That's cool. That's cool.
You a size 1 when I met you. You're now a size 10. I don't. So people find all women of shapes and sizes attractive, and I'm not gonna minimize that. But I will say that if I met you and you was working your stuff on top of me, and you now 10 sizes heavier, well, you know what? That may change some things. So shit, you want to keep it spicy in the bedroom. Sometimes you got to be strong and slim to be able to do that.
All right, so James says, other than childbirth, the weight accumulates slowly. When you're truly in love, you can see your mate through a different lens. We often enable our partners to gain that weight and then realize they're just out of shape and less attractive physically. Do I need to read it again?
Whitney, I won't stay the same size forever, just for the record. And my weight is fluctuated a little bit, but I tell you what, barring injury, and I'm not, depending on what kind of injury it is, I think that it is important for me to stay healthy.
I think that we should always encourage our partners to be the best version of themselves.
There are times where I've hovered around 200 pounds. I didn't like the way the weight felt. But I would expect, and I would want anyone who I'm with to push me. Lance, get your ass out of bed and get some push-ups. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Get your ass off the floor. Get your ass out of bed. Get on the floor. Do some push-ups. I can do that. I mean, it's just small steps. Again, I don't expect anyone. If I met you a size 1, I don't expect you 10 years from now to be a size 1.
Right.
But I don't expect you to say, "Fuck it, I'm not doing nothing."
Right.
Just because I got somebody. No, you don't do that. But I understand this is a very tough topic for some people.
Yeah, it is, and that goes back to one of the questions in the conversation. What is some hard things, or what is the hardest things to talk to your partner about? A, sex. B, personal things that they need to change within and of themselves. C, I forgot what the other.
It's a ripple effect though, because if you think about that, like you said, like with sex, again, if you met me, I was a fucking acrobat in the bed, and now 20, 30, 40 pounds later, if that's what you were interested in, and now I've changed, we would be naive to say that doesn't have an influence on your approach. I mean, I may not do it for you anymore, which again, now you're opening up avenues for potential problems down the line. And if the way you want to prevent cheating is to cut off those avenues. Cut them off.
Dame says, I like the way my clothes fit. I can't wear my clothes fitted if I'm a big dude. I'm just saying. Look, everybody has their own devices as to why they would change. Let me see what Lysandra says. Lysandra says, I'm just here for the comments as I eat my third Krispy Kreme donut. Girl!
And you know what size her damn waist is?
Yeah.
Whatever size this is.
Yeah, but you gotta understand your metabolism. Like, I already know, being a thick chick, myself, that I am. You gotta know your metabolism. Slow down. You already know after one Krispy Kreme donut, you done gained 0.35 pounds. It just so happened like that. If you keep eating more, then you already know that if you don't go to the gym and burn that off, it's just gonna accumulate. So you know thyself. All right, that is the saying for tonight. All right, I want everybody to repeat after me. Know thyself. That's the first thing in being happy. Knowing thyself. All right, if you know thyself, then everything else after that is going to be kosher.
Boom.
Boom. All right. Last question of the night.
Amanda.
All right, Amanda, my sweet Amanda. Amanda says, at what point do you know you're just not into him or her? All right, last question tonight. Again, at what point do you know you're just not that into him or her?
Adrian, I want to say that is such an encouraging statement, and I couldn't agree with you more on it, but I just want to say that, man, that's just fucking awesome, and that's just what I love about the group. It's really just about people encouraging other people.
Right.
And, you saying that may have put a spin on something that she didn't even look at, and I think that that's just fucking awesome. And I don't get that in many other groups. I just want to say that. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, so at what point do you know you're just not into him or her? Ember says immediately. Ember has the discernment of Superman. So Ember says immediately. She already know. Not that into you. Tamika says, call me crazy, but I believe when you start your relationship with communication, you can talk about anything. A relationship built on the platform of communication, you can talk about anything. A relationship built on the platform of communication fosters a relationship of communication, even when it calls for tough topics. Example, weight, health, sex, or finances. I agree. Adrian says, how do you know you're just not that into him or her? She says within the first 5 minutes. Woo! Girl, they're savages out here in these streets. How do y'all know? How do you know you're just not that into somebody? How do you tell? Like, what's your barometer? At what point do you connect with somebody and then you're like, you know what? Wait a minute, not really good for me. Moving on. Sharice says, wait for way for that, then you need to experiment with new things to keep sex better than the last time. So that's what Cherie says.
Yes, it's me.
Message, pick it up.
Black Sheep is playing in the background, y'all.
We talking when you first meet or when you have been out with them. Look, this actually either or, Natasha. At what point, like when you just first meet somebody, or you've gone out on a date with them? At what point do you know you're just not into that person? And I think this is a really good question for people who have that tough time gauging or trying to figure out filler-wise whether or not that person is exactly right for them. Me personally, it goes back to my saying of know thyself. I'm actually going to get a t-shirt set that says know thyself. Because when you know you already know whether somebody's not going to fit into your connection, fit into your world, fit into your vibe. You know that. And it's like Ember says, it's immediately. You know, it is like you can feel that. You can feel that presence. Swag and conversation throw. I agree. Damien says once we engage in dialogue, definitely agree with that. Once you open your mouth, I know. Ember says I could see someone attractive, and once they open their mouth, again, her and Dash are on the same line. Natasha says when I first meet, I know right away. When I've been out with them, it means I like something about them. So when I have to exhibit some traits that I don't know, then it's like that I don't know what I want in a mate. Adrian says on the first date when you're communicating and things aren't clicking, you know. Derek said that's the truth. You know within the first 5 minutes if they are compatible. I agree. You know. Look, if you know better, then you what, Lance?
Do better.
If you know better, then you what?
Do better.
You do better. Look, if you already know thyself, you already know within the first meeting of somebody whether or not there's a connection there. Now, it may take a second date for you to figure out what exactly that connection is. But for the most part, you know whether or not a connection with somebody is going to be something that, you know, intrigues you or, you know, or piques your interest to where you want to explore more, or you picked up on something that you're just like, you know, not really. James says, Ember stole my thunder. If the combo is whack, then I gotta fall back.
So for me, and I guess I'm weird here because often I don't know in the first 5 minutes. I think that sometimes that first interaction is short enough where you get enough information. You say, okay, you know, I'd like to pursue this, and then sometimes the next date, you know, you keep it kind of generic. You're kind of feeling around, and then when you start hitting some of those critical topics, like how do you feel about health and fitness, or how do you feel about, you know, those topics? Are you pro-choice? Did you vote Republican or Democratic? You know, sometimes those things cue me to say, you know what, this is something that I probably don't want to continue. Or if we're texting each other and I say, well, hey, did you read about you know, the latest Trump allegations? And they say, what are you talking about? I say, okay, cool. And if I say, you know, hey, what are your thoughts on these sexual harassment allegations? And what are you talking about? Or they're okay. Or, you know, and I'm always looking to engage with challenging conversation, and all they do is give me, okay, all right, that's cool. Then at that point, I know that this is someone that I can't. Or you know, that first argument, sometimes how they handle that first argument, whether they're super defensive or they don't receive feedback very well.
But how do you? That's a long time. I mean, what do you do? Start an argument to see whether or not they?
No, it's simply feeling your way around, and I don't think that for me personally, it hasn't been as abrupt, I guess, as the first 5 minutes, because people in the first 5 minutes, you can vibe with someone for 5 minutes. That's fucking easy. The challenges come in when you're sitting at a dinner table for 2 hours.
I agree.
Or when you're having those deep conversations at 12 o'clock talking about something deep, like any of these topics, and they have fucking nothing to say.
Right, I agree.
Then that point, then I know that at this point I'm wasting my time in theirs.
Right. I agree. All right, guys. So we are going to wrap tonight's session up. Thank you guys for being amazingly who you are. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate your participation.
Thanks, Reese.
Thank you for who you are. Listening to Lance makes me feel better. Aww. Amanda says, listen to Lance makes me feel better instantly.
Oh,
that's great. Great,
I
Amanda.
appreciate that. That's what I'm here for.
So look, guys, this is what this is about. It's definitely a space for you all to be able to create, to be able to have this dialogue, to be able to give your perceptions, because you don't understand what your perceptions may awaken in somebody. I absolutely love doing this. This is not something that I just do just because. I love doing it because you know why? There's so many people in the world that needs to be awakened. There's so many people in the world that needs to have some type of positive outlet to be able to go to and be able to express themselves and be able to be in a position to say, you know what? I am stepping out of the box and I want to make sure that whatever it is that I'm doing, however it is that I'm stepping out, that I'm making sure that I am I'm on the right path. And it's our responsibility to make sure that it's my responsibility. It's our responsibility to make sure that we're enlightening these people to the conscious world. So at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you guys with this. Be light, be love, spread peace, and live your truth.
Man, that's cool. That's deep right there. So, Adrian, to answer your question, yes, next Thursday is live.
Yes.
And in person, you should come.
It's called Liquid Lounge. It's going to be in Cornelius, North Carolina. We are going to
Cornelius sounds far. Tell them it's just like an exit off of Harris.
Yes, it's an exit off of Harris.
Yeah.
It's we're going to put a flyer in the group. We're going to create an event for it. We would like to see you guys there. Live event. It starts at 7. We're going to do a mixer again. The conversation starts at 8. It's called the Battle of the Sexes. So that's how we do. But we're really gonna get off of this. All right, guys. Again, be light, be love, spread peace, live your truth. And I want everybody tonight who has ever watched this to hashtag keep the conversation alive. All right.
And add me if you want to be added.
Yeah. And hashtag add me if you want to be added. All right. All right. Here we go. Hashtag keep this conversation alive. Hashtag add me if you want to be added to the group.
Lord, I have to drive to another state. Just
good night, guys.
Adrian lives in fucking Fort Mill. Next away.
Good night, guys.